Hey everyone, it's Zahava. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another cozy personal reading vlog. In today's video, we'll be visiting a couple of little free libraries. We're also going to be talking about bookish content, of course, having some heart-to-hearts, you know, the normal stuff that we do on this channel whenever a vlog rears its ugly head or comes about. We're also going to be talking about learning to DNF a book. It's a struggle that I have been going through personally. Potentially some of you guys have had this problem as well. How far do you get into a book before you decide that the book isn't for you, etc.? So let's not waste any more time and let's get right into the vlog, starting with a tour to the little free libraries, which may or may not have been successful. Okay, so we're at our first little free library today, and I have two books, The Last Citadel and Deep Fathom, which are some books that came in one of my eBay hauls. So yeah, I'm gonna potentially give these ones. I realized that maybe you can't hear me because I didn't bring a mic and this is kind of impromptu, so if it's very bad then I'll cut this footage out and I'll do a voiceover. But let's see what they have. Nothing for me in this one, kind of a bust. This one. Okay, so let's see if there's anything here. Okay, we have The Power of Six. We have Clive Cussler. We have Bloodletting and Miraculous Cures. Bloodletting and Miraculous. Oh, here's a Brian Jacques. Take this. Take that. Okay, what did you take?
A manga book.
A manga book?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what else there is here. There is...
Do you want me to hold the camera?
Yeah. Frog Music. This is a thriller. That one there. There's Lisa Still Alice. Okay, I don't know what that is. So this is like not really something that I'm likely to, so we'll leave these here for people to see.
Oh. Can't press pause.
No, you can't press pause. We'll go to the next one. So we're gonna give these two. Okay, let's see what there is here, if anything. Not really. This one was pretty full last time too, so like, Tell No Lies. I don't know who that is. There's like a whole bunch of books up there, and people are not like organizing this. They're putting like CDs and stuff. Cracks in the Ice, a poetry anthology. We're not going to take that, but I just want to see what they are. Daniel Silva, The Activist Poet. So there's a couple of poetry books here. Fearless Flyers Handbook. Okay, so nothing here for us.
Sad face.
Sad face. But we left some books behind.
You should go like this.
I've found some stuff before. Don't say that. There might be something. So there's The Lost Symbol by Dan Brown.
Oh, it's like really dark.
Yeah. The Locals, Jonathan D. I never heard of that. This is a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize, which I don't know anything about. The Candy House, Jennifer Egan. It's a novel. I've never heard of it. We're all completely beside ourselves. So we're just gonna leave some books behind. Okay.
Oh.
This is kind of a bus.
3 days later.
Okay, you guys, so you're gonna excuse me because I'm actually in pajamas. I just got back from the thrift store and I drank some water, I changed, and I just wanted to get online and show you guys real quick the books that I picked up at the thrift store, and then I'm just gonna settle down. It's about 5 o'clock on a Saturday evening. I just kind of want to settle down, maybe watch some TV, hang out with Eric, all that jazz. But I went to a thrift store that's not too far from my house, within, like, let's say walking distance, and I usually don't have much success there. But this time today, for whatever reason, the thrift gods were with me and I got some really nice books. Want to show you what they are. So first, I want to show you, I can't believe this because I actually had this book on my TBR and potentially also on my library holds. So the first book I found was Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Again, I've read Tchaikovsky before. I've always had a really good time with his novels. I understand that this book is kind of like about space spiders, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments if you've read it. I hear that it's really good and it will make you kind of fall in love with spiders. So anyway, I hope I'm not making a mistake on this one, but it was on my radar and I can't believe that I found it. It cost me $4.25. The next book that I found, I think that Fina, you're going to be really proud of me because we had a discussion. Fina of Fina Reads. If you don't know her, I will link her channel down below so you could go check her out. But I was having a discussion with Fina on Instagram about the Green Rider series by Kristen Britton. And I think that Kristen Britton is up to book number 8 in the series, if I'm not mistaken. And Fina has done a dedicated video about this series, which you can find on her channel. But anyway, I had found at some point the Green Rider, the first one. Well, actually, I'll just show it to you. I had found this one, which is the first book in the series, at a thrift store, and I decided not to pick it up. I actually thought of Fina, so I don't know if you're watching this. If you are, Fina, say hey. So I had thought of Fina, and I wrote to her and I said, yeah, you know, I saw this book and I thought of you, and then I decided not to pick it up. But it was at the thrift store this time, and I took it for a sign from the universe. I should mention that I did pick up this book some 20 years ago. I tried it. I couldn't really get into it. I think maybe I'm in like a better headspace right now to try this one again. And certainly knowing that 7 books follow it, probably this series has had some measure of success. So I'm going to give it another shot. This one also cost me $4.25. It is in great shape. There's no bends on the spine. Same with the Children of Time book. It's in super good shape. Maybe a couple of little cracks on the spine. I can definitely hold it open because it's already been broken in. But the flop factor, just want to show you the flop factor. So this one, not too floppy. This one though, Flop City. This one is really floppy. So anyway, these were my 2 adult sci-fi fantasy finds at the thrift store that doesn't usually give. The pièce de résistance. I found 3 vintage Goosebump books. Okay, and why I'm really excited, they cost me $2 each. And why I'm really excited about that is because Goosebumps books are so hard to find. They're so hard to find. I've got, this one is Stay Out of the Basement. Then I've got It Came From Beneath the Sink. And the last one is How I Got My Shrunken Head. And they were all in like the weirdest places. So first of all, they were in the adult section, hidden in between some adult books, which was really weird. And they were all on different shelves, like 3 different shelves on 3 different heights. So I was wondering if maybe somebody had tried to hide them at the thrift store and was going to come back with some money later and didn't want someone to find them in the children's section, so kind of randomly stuck them in the adult section, because that's what I think I would have done. And I think that I've seen some people say that when they're clothing shopping, if they have a piece that they really like and they don't have the money and they want to come back for it, they kind of like hide it in the thrift store. They put it somewhere else where only they will know how to find it. So I'm wondering if the same thing happened with these books. But anyway, I went through every shelf. These were the only 3 that were there, but I really thought that this was a great find. So I guess my question to you guys is, if I read these books, does that count towards my monthly reading total? Because I did read Garlic and the Vampire, and I am going to be counting that one towards my total of, amount of books read in October, even though it only took me 15 minutes to read. So I think that arguably these books would probably take me longer. Anyway, just to sort of summarize, I also want to mention that Goosebumps books came out when I was already a little too old for them. So it was actually my younger sister who had quite an extensive collection of Goosebumps books. I was reading the Fear Street books by R.L. Stine, never the Goosebumps ones. So if you guys are like in your mid-40s, potentially also in your late 30s, you guys might remember the Fear Street books. And because I feel like if you're in your 50s, you might have like been, you know, too mature for those books when they came out, but like, let's say if you're a Xennial, okay, then you will definitely remember those Fear Street books. And I had about 20 or so of them, but those ones too, super hard to find in any thrift stores. editings I have here. So as it happens, the next day I ended up going to a couple of used bookstores where I did find some Fear Street books, but they were $4 each, and I didn't really want to spend $20 on books that I didn't need and probably wouldn't read. Even though $4, I feel like for Fear Street books, now that they're out of print and they're absolutely collectibles, probably was a really good price. So I'm kind of having a little bit of buyer's remorse, if I'm honest, but I decided to leave those behind. And yeah, so they're actually like not potentially as hard to find as I thought. They are hard to find, but they're like, anyway, I just happened to find them like the very next day. So, and I didn't take them. So anyway, back to the video. You might not have that trouble in the United States, but in Canada, they're really hard to find, especially in Quebec. It's really hard to find these. Anyway, I have never read these. All of this is to say that I have never read these. I read the Fear Street ones, which were for like more 9 to 12-year-olds. This is geared more for 6 to 9-year-olds. So I've never read these. I've never read these. And I'm thinking that I'm going to give them a shot. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys are familiar with any of these titles, if you've read them. And yeah, if you're feeling some vibes, So I'm excited. Okay, that's it. I'm going to sign off on this part of the vlog, and I will see you again when I have more to say. I needed to just come on the vlog and talk to you guys about The Deep by River Solomon. I actually DNF'd this book 9 pages before the end of it. And it is something that I wanted to discuss with you guys because I found this book to be a real struggle, like a real struggle. I kept waiting for it to like get better. Every time I flipped a page, I kept waiting for it to get better, and it was just not getting better. This book is 160 pages or 166 pages. It's a tiny little novella. I had just finished reading the Monster of Elendhaven, or Elend. I don't know if that's the name of the book. I'll put it across the screen because I don't remember the name of it, but I just finished reading it, and I read that book in one sitting, okay? This book, it's been 3 days, and I've been dreading going back to it, and honestly, I skipped half of chapter 8 because there are certain chapters in this book where, like, literally nothing happens. It was such a struggle. It was such a struggle and such an uncomfortable and painful book for me to get through. I really didn't care what was happening in it, and I said to myself, no, you're going to plow through because, you know, it's only 160 pages. How long is it going to take you to read or whatever? And I just found myself getting like increasingly frustrated. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you guys plow through these types of books when you're really not feeling them, hoping that they're going to get better? Or do you sort of give into it? And is there a percentage at which you guys decide, hey, I'm not feeling it? Because I guess what I'm trying to explain is that I really need to get better at sussing out when I'm not feeling a book and not wasting the rest of my day and my mood and souring my mood in frustration because I'm trying to wait for the book to get better when I think that there's a certain point at which my intuition says to me, this book is not good or it's not going to get better. And then I give it a chance, probably more than it deserves, for it to get better, or the author will change the viewpoint character and I'll think, okay, it's going to get better now. And I think that when I get to that point, when I get to the it's going to get better now point and the book like doesn't get better, that's the point at which I need to DNF it. And that's what I'm trying to work on and I'm trying to get better at doing. So I'm wondering if you guys have ever felt that, if there's a point at which you know that you're going to DNF a book, if you DNF books or if you plow through them no matter what, because literally this book, I had 1 chapter left. There was like 9 pages and I could not do it. I could not do it. And now I'm crabby. I'm frustrated. My entire reading day, the rest of the day, thank God it's only 9 o'clock or almost 9:30 in the morning, because I'm pretty sure that the rest of my day is going to be pretty much ruined. I'm hoping that because it's sunny outside and we're going to be heading out to a family brunch for my stepdaughter and my stepson. It's their 20th birthday today. So 21st, might be 21st. My bad. But they're having a birthday today and we're going to head out to my mother-in-law's because Eric has twins, a boy and a girl, in case you guys didn't know that. So I think they're turning 21 today. And we're going to be heading out to their birthday party. It's going to be a brunch at my mother-in-law's house. And it's supposed to be really sunny and they've got a nice big deck and I think it should be a nice time. So hopefully I'm going to get my reading mojo back. But let me tell you, this book set me off on the wrong foot for today. Like I'm so upset. And I really wanted to like this. I heard really good things about it. And I even have a copy of Sorrowland. And I think it might be a little too soon to decide if River Solomon is an author for me. I did expose myself to a couple of Stephen Graham Jones's books before I decided that he is perhaps not an author for me. River Solomon, it remains to be seen if they're an author that I will stick with or not. But you know, this book here, I mean, how bad does a book have to be for you to DNF it 9 pages before the ending?
The next day.
Heyo, so I've been reading The Blacktongue Thief, which is a book that I took out of my local library, and I would say that I'm a little more than halfway through it. About 150 pages or so away from the end. And I got to tell you, I'm struggling with it. I think that the reason that I took this out goes back to the point at which I bought The Daughters' War on, I think like Book Outlet was having a sale, and I bought The Daughters' War not knowing that it was a prequel and companion book to The Blacktongue Thief. And then I did some research. I found out that this book came out first, and The Daughters' War, even though it's a prequel, actually was published after The Blacktongue Thief. And I'm not sure that this book is really doing it for me. And I don't think it's because it's bad writing, because I did find myself laughing, and I have been obviously turning pages, but I don't feel drawn to it. I'm not really sure I care what's happening. And I think that part of the reason that I'm forcing my way through this book so much is because I had spent $7 or $8 on the second book that was published of this, which is, again, like I said, the prequel. And I think it's more because I spent money on a book not knowing, or just in general that I spent money on the book itself, that is making me think that I need to force my way through this, when really what I want to do is DNF it, honestly. I just don't think that I'm enjoying it, like at least not enough to want to read another 150 pages of it. And I'm wondering if I won't like The Daughters' War better, because I'm not really sure I like this book. It's just kind of meh for me, and I don't know if I want to spend another 150 pages reading this when I have other books on my roster that I do actually want to read. Now, that being said, this is a library loan and it's not due back for another couple of weeks, but realistically, like, I've been reading this book over the last week or so, and I don't know, I just, like, I'm not enjoying it. I mean, I'm not enjoying it. Like, it's not a bad book, but I'm just not invested. So I think I may have to leave it. And now I'm sitting around with this guilt about The Daughters' War, which is a book that I bought, which now I'm afraid I may have to unhaul without ever having read. Even though perhaps it might be a better book. Like, I was actually thinking to myself, maybe it's just The Blacktongue Thief. Maybe it's just the character, because it's a first-person narrative, and maybe I just don't like the character. And if The Daughters' War talks about the war that was previous to the setting that we're in this book, maybe it's going to focus on different characters. Maybe it's going to have somewhat of a different voice, you know. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I should try reading it. So I don't know if you guys have read this book or read The Daughters' War or completed the duology or whatever. Maybe if you have, you could let me know if the books are different, because I don't want to read this anymore. I just don't want to read it anymore. And I have some other things that I want to get to, such as The Raven Scholar, which I know that everyone has been reading. I have a copy. I took that out of my library as well. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you may have seen that came in. So if you're not following me on Instagram, now's a great time to go ahead and open a new tab and follow me on Instagram. Like, don't click off the video, but you can follow me on Instagram, and you'll see what books I'm picking up in real time. But I wanted to try The Raven Scholar. It was new at the library when I went to pick up some books that I had put on hold. And I know that everyone's reading that book, and I'm actually kind of low-key scared that I'm not going to like it, because I feel like The Raven Scholar... There's like some random squeaking and beeping that's coming from I don't know where, like maybe outside. It's so weird. Yeah, so as I was saying, I feel like The Raven Scholar, because everybody's talking about it and everybody's hyping it up way so much, I feel like I might end up not liking that book as well. So if you've been here for a while, then you'll probably know that I tend to not like a lot of really popular books, because I think that, like, the hype is like super built up for them. And then if I don't get what other people are getting, like if I don't feel immediately enthralled, and sometimes when you're starting a new book, especially if it's fantasy and you have to get into all the world building and all of that, you can sometimes trick yourself and say, or at least it happens to me, that I trick myself and I say, okay, this book isn't so bad, and then I get 50 pages in, 100 pages in, and I totally lose whatever mojo I was working with that got me into that book in the first place. And I'm kind of low-key thinking that might happen with The Raven Scholar as well. But anyway, I have it. I just can't show it to you because you're actually sitting on it right now, because I had to raise my phone a little bit to record this part of the video, and you're sitting on a pile of 4 books right now. So But I have it. And the other thing I wanted to show you is I picked up a copy of The Examiner, and this is by Janice Hallett. This is an author I'm unfamiliar with, but I picked it up because I was watching Books Like Whoa, and Mara had suggested that she was reading, I don't think it was this one, I think it was a newer, a different title by the same author. She was talking about it being like a mixed media murder mystery. Are you guys familiar with this author? Because like I don't know anything about her, but I thought it was so fun, so I took it out of my library. And yeah, it is. Like all the pages are all mixed media type. And I think that, I don't know if this is true for all of her books, but I think that this book, I'll show you the cover again. I think that this book is more like you're set up, at least from what I can gather, in a situation where like the first page says, "Dear reader, I need to oversee the final grades for a master's degree at a prestigious university. Despite access to all the documents I require and some I wouldn't normally expect to see, I find myself unable to grade the submissions. In fact, I can't quite work out what happened on that course at all. It was either something so disturbing I can't even bring myself to write it down, or as the police seem to think, it was nothing. I'd appreciate your help. Please read the enclosed and let me know. For context, it includes an academic year calendar marked with key dates, the official guidelines that govern our marking process, and my correspondence with the college admins. Be aware that if my worst fears are true, then one of the students on this course is dead. Thank you, The Examiner." So it basically starts out like that with this page right here. And then it takes you straight into, I mean, that's as far as I got. Like, this is my bookmark because I actually kind of need to study the calendar, but it takes you like right to the calendar, you know, and you have to sort of pay attention, because I'm starting to wonder if this, and again, you guys can tell me in the comments if you are familiar with this book, but I think it's kind of like you have to solve the mystery because they give you all the clues here. And as the examiner is going through and trying to solve the mystery, it gives you an opportunity to try and solve it as well, which I think is a really, really cool concept. And it's not something that I've ever encountered before. It's kind of giving a little bit choose your own adventure. So I really do want to get to that one. And actually, I'm going to move you guys for a second. And I will rest you instead of on this book, I'll rest you on the Blacktongue Thief. But I wanted to show you that I also picked up, because I'm trying to get more into like mystery thriller and cozy mystery, which are genres that are kind of outside of my bailiwick and that I don't really feel too well, not uncomfortable in, but I don't read too many of them. So I'm trying to get more into that. And this is called A Murder of Magpies by Judith Flanders. Again, I'm going in completely blind. I know nothing about this book. I know nothing about this author, but I feel like, I don't know, this was like a total cover pick for me at the library. So I feel like it could be something interesting. Anyway, how am I doing with the October TBR, the TBR teapot that we looked at together? So I've started The Man Who Died Twice. I haven't gotten too far, maybe about 3 chapters into that. So we're just going to do a check-in here. Memoirs of an Addicted Brain. I don't think the writing is very strong. I got to be honest. I started reading that one and I feel like the writing is just not good, so I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I will try and go back to it a little later because I have like a lot of things I need to do this month. Also, I have another library hold that came in, which I got to go pick up tomorrow, and that's the newest book by Mary Roach, whose name I forget right now, so I'll put it up next to me on the screen for you. But that book has been purchased for me by the library, and I'm the first one on the waiting list to get it, so I definitely have to go pick that up. I think it's called Replaceable You, I think. So I got to pick that up. And then The Mask of Mirrors, I know that some of you guys were excited. You wanted me to really read The Mask of Mirrors. I think I may have to start that one on audio. I do have an audio copy of that from my library because the Reading with My Eyes this month, there are so many books. It's just like, it's not going to happen. So if I want to at least do some of the books that I said I would do in the TBR teapot, I have to, not get too derailed by the library and all of the library books that came in. So I would like to try The Mask of Mirrors. I didn't do a try a chapter, or did I? I can't remember if I did. No, I didn't do a try a chapter with The Mask of Mirrors. It was The Serpent and the Wings of Night that I did a try a chapter with. So if I have to add that to my October reading, and right now we are the 7th? We're the 7th? I don't know what date we are because like we're on my phone, but today is Monday, and yesterday was Monday. Today is, I think we're the 6th or the 7th. We're the 7th of October today. Oh my God. And I feel like already I've run out of time for the month. I don't know if you have reading plans and you ever feel like things get in the way, but I think it's also because I'm on Booktube and I feel like, you know, I want to talk to you guys about where I'm going in my reading journey and all that. And then I feel like if I do the October TBR pods and then I don't get around to doing them, that I'm disappointing you guys, and I really don't want to disappoint you. So I think that that's low key where a lot of my stress is coming from. But other than that, I'm gonna just keep on keeping on. I'm not feeling the Blacktongue Thief. And I think that this entire part of the vlog has been me coming to terms with that, and that I really don't want to be wasting any more time on that book, because I don't really think I like it. But it's not because it has bad writing or anything. I'm just not feeling drawn to it, or like it's just okay. It's just okay. And I feel like just okay is not a reason to continue on reading a book when it's just okay. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I don't want to waste my time. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that I may start The Daughter's War. I may see if that works for me before deciding to unhaul it. Like maybe try a chapter for that at a later date, but I'm not in a super rush to unhaul it. But the Blacktongue Thief itself, just not grabbing my interest enough, I don't think, for me to go ahead and finish it. So thanks for listening, because I needed to sort that out. And you guys being here has made the difference, because I think I've convinced myself to DNF the book at this point. So yeah, thanks for listening.
12 seconds later.
I was going to go and sit down and write my review DNFing the Blacktongue Thief, but I think I'm actually going to go and make myself some coffee right now, because I only had 1 cup this morning and I really need another one, because I'm starting to think maybe it's my lack of coffee, or maybe the Daughter's War, not the Daughter's War. Maybe the Blacktongue Thief is what actually was putting me to sleep. So I'm going to have my second cup of coffee. I'm going to sit down, write my review of the Blacktongue Thief, sad face. And then I'm going to start probably video editing and try and start The Raven Scholar and see how I go with that one. Also, I just wanted to let you guys know that on audio, I've been listening to Paladin's Strength by T. Kingfisher. It's really fun. I have about 2 hours left of that one on audio. And then I guess I will start The Mask of Mirrors, because I at least want to get some of the TBR Teapot October picks actually read and done. Because, you know, we do these videos for a reason. I just don't want to like set everything aside. But you know, life is like that. The reading journey is like that, I guess. So coffee first, and then all the admin stuff. Do you guys see this? This is what I'm going to do when my audiobook is playing. It's really bad. So I've started The Raven Scholar and I'm on page 10, and I feel like the main character, Yana, I feel like her brother's going to die, and like pretty soon. And I don't think that's like spoiling anything, because at this point it's just a prediction. But the way that it's being written, and of course I'm just on page 10 right now, but the way that it's being written, I kind of feel like her brother's going to die, and like pretty soon. Because I feel like the book just can't progress if he doesn't. So if you've read it, you know, you could let me know and we can discuss it in the comments. But I think I will probably have finished this book by the time you guys see this video. So we can definitely discuss it in the comments if you want to discuss it. But you guys know that I've been wrong about this kind of thing before. But so far, as I've said, I'm only on page 10 of this book. Pretty much like a lot to go. There's over 600 pages in this one. So I can't really say if I like it or don't like it. It's a little too early at this point. We're just in the world building. We haven't really got to too much of the plot points, or, you know, the point at which the novel is going to have its sort of catalytic moment for the main character. But so far we're following Yana, and she is 16 years old and has a twin brother by the name of Roko. And she and her brother and her mother have been summoned to the emperor on his island. And there is a guard who is 22 years old, and they're known as the Hounds, or that faction of the guard is known as the Hounds. And they are taking this family of what used to be, I guess, ravens, except that the mother was also from dragon stock, as far as I can understand, to the Emperor by boat. So that's as far as we know. They've come to their apartment. There is a younger child that has been left behind with one of the Hound's guards, and that is as far as I know. And Yana is always wondering like why her younger sibling is always being left behind, but the Hound left one of his fellow hounds with the younger child. And that's it. And that's as far as I know it right now. Still time to tell if I'm going to like this book or not. So far, so good. But you guys know that I have said good things about a book in the past, and then like 200 pages in, I sort of lose my mojo and I lose interest for it. So I'm going to come back to you guys after about 100 pages or so, let you know what I think, and then I think close off the vlog at that point. So stay tuned and I will be back and let you know what I think once I get to around the 100-page mark.
The next day.
Hey you guys, so it is the next day and I am actually not quite at 100 pages of The Raven Scholar. I'm actually at page 92, and boy, this went a very different direction than I thought it was going. So I'm liking it. It's definitely adult. I was worried for a little bit that this was going to be like a kind of YA romantasy, which I really think that I would not have enjoyed, but it's adult. It starts out with people that are in their early 20s, but by the time you get to page 92, you find out that they're in their mid 30s. So that is a little more relatable to me. So if you guys were wondering about the sort of age range of the protagonists that you're following in this story, they're a little bit older, but I can't really tell you much more about what's going on because in the first couple of chapters of the story, you're focusing on this one family. And then if I say too much, it's going to kind of ruin what the subsequent chapters are about. So unfortunately, I can't really give you too much of a sort of plot summary, whereas the characters are concerned, but it does take place in kind of a small island where there's these various houses or magical, I don't know why I'm holding a Kleenex. I'm holding a Kleenex because I just spit my gum into it. That's why before I started vlogging, and then I had it in my hand and I didn't let it go. But essentially like they have this map, which maybe I can show you the map. So yeah, this won't ruin anything. So there's the map and it's like a palace at the top, and every 24 years they switch out their emperors and there's a trial for who's going to be the next emperor. So that's pretty much all I know so far at page 92, but so far I'm liking it. The author is a British author, and I think she has some other books under her belt, but I don't know anything about her. I've never read any of her other work, but I'm kind of happy that it's not leaning towards the new adult age range. And I find the swearing, because there is swearing, so just in case you were wondering, like they'll say the F word and other things, you know, I find it appropriate for the rest of the voice of the novel and the language of the novel. So it's not off-putting, it's not jarring. I don't know why I feel that it's important to say that, but I do. So anyway, that is the update on The Raven Scholar. What else? I started the Mask of Mirrors, but this one I started it actually, even though I have a bookmark here because I'm going to decide if I'm going to do tandem reading or not, I did start it on audio and I'm really, really happy I did. If you guys have been into this book, you will notice that there's a lot of potentially impronounceable names because there's accents on some of the letters, which I guess if you don't speak Polish, you probably would not know how to pronounce. So I'm really glad I decided to go with the audio version of this. I did pay for this book. I do have a copy of it, which I can't remember. I want to say that I picked this up for like $1 when I was in Australia. I could be wrong. Potentially it also came from Book Outlet. I don't know. I really don't remember where I picked it up, but I know that I paid for it. And I did borrow the audio from my library. So I'm going to be doing the audio version of this book only because my October is like completely derailing on me, and I'm finding that I'm super busy this month, so I really I don't want to say only have time to do audiobooks, but I mostly have time to do audiobooks this month. So if I do want to spend time in the other two mystery books that I showed you earlier in this vlog, which is A Murder of Magpies and The Examiner, and I do actually want to spend time with my eyes reading those two books, then I have no choice but to do audiobooks. And I think I'm going to have a lot more audiobooks this month than you guys are used to seeing. I don't know why my glasses are getting all crooked on my face. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm filming on my phone right now and the camera is like way over there and I have to look there and the angle is making things go all crooked. So you're just gonna have to bear with me, okay? I only have a couple of more things to say to you. Okay, so I'm doing that one on audio. The other one that I'm gonna end up having to do on audio, because this just came in today, my hold on this book, on the audio version of this book just came in today, is gonna be The Man Who Died Twice. And this was for takes place in the 2020s prompt that we had. So I still have my prompt ticket over here. So I don't know if you guys remember that, but anyway, I will be doing this one as well. I have 21 days. I should be able to do this and this, at least on audio, in the next 21 days, I'm hoping. And then lastly, I wanted to tell you that I had to go back to the library to pick up a copy of Replaceable You by Mary Roach. I have read Mary Roach's entire backlist, so the fact that she has a new book out is amazing. I love her writing. I find her extremely accessible, extremely funny. If you guys don't know who she is, she writes kind of scientific investigative journalism, if that's such a thing, and she'll cover topics that people don't normally tend to explore in their research and writing, like her book, Bonk, which had to do with the study of the science of sex, and Packing for Mars, which talks about the training that astronauts will go through and what it's like when they're up in space shuttles. And she's done Spook, which has to do with some paranormal activity, and Gulp, which has to do with how your, what happens when food goes into your body and how digestion, I can't talk, how digestion happens and like what affects the food, the whole digestive system, and how people came to understand the workings of it, including but not limited to the fact that somebody was going around with like a big hole in their gut. I'm pointing to my gut, but you can't see it on the camera angle. But yeah, I like Mary Roach quite a bit, and I've read everything. So I asked actually the new library that I just became a member of to order a copy of this. And when the girl who helped me open up my membership when I was there a couple of weeks ago said to me, you know, the librarian is really good. If you ask her to buy a book, she will buy a book. Yes, she's really good. I have asked her to buy quite a few books, which is saving me a lot of money, and she is buying them. So as long as the books are from 2025 or 2024, she'll still buy them. So I can't get books that are before that because I guess she only like has a budget for new books. But if the books have just been published, i.e. like I just put in a request for The Witch Roads by Kate Elliott, and as long as they don't have a copy and as long as it's new, it's very likely that it will be retained and the library will decide to buy it. So anyway, they did decide to buy this one. So that saved me a crap ton of money. And it's a short book. It's only 276 pages. So yeah, we're going to add that to the 2 mystery books that were also from the library. I don't know if I'm going to get to any of the other books like The Serpent and the Wings of Night and Memoirs of an Addicted Brain. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think I'm in a little bit over my head this month, and I think the October wrap-up is going to be really interesting because even I at this point, and we're talking right now, we are October 8th, even I at this point don't know what the rest of my month is going to look like, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm a little scared. What I have planned for you coming up is on the 18th and 19th of October, the Two Mountains Lions Club does annually a giant book sale. And that is something that I am definitely going to be going to, and I am definitely going to be trying to take footage of for you all so you can see. I don't know if that's going to be like a full vlog of just that, or it might be just part of a vlog that I put out that week. But yeah, so we have that to look forward to because I am trying to buy less books. And for sure, if the books are new and if the new library is likely to buy them, I could be saving hundreds of dollars, which means that I'm not sure if I'm going to do a November TBR Teapot. If you guys want to see a November TBR Teapot episode, please let me know in the comments. I can't promise you that I will get all the books read that we pick in that episode, but if you guys want me to do it for November, let me know in the comments and I will 100% get that filmed and put up for you guys. All right, so with that and the hair and the pajamas and everything, literally what you see is what is happening in my brain right now. So, okay, I'm gonna go. I have so much reading to do. And I just want to thank you so much if you've made it to the end of the video to see all of this. I mean, if you're still here, you know what you're getting. I say it all the time, but thank you so much for being here. I love you all so much. I will see you again in the next video. Ciao for now.